landlord's half and the tenant's half. For core and shell, that would be a way to certify a LEED building from the landlord side. Because they don't have any say over, well, they have limited say over lighting that goes on. You know, what happens, you know, for the fit, like what materials do we use for the interior? What materials do you use for the floor coverings? That's all chosen later. Right? Under LEED for new construction, they'd have to do it all at once. And they said, well, we can't really use this product. So LEED says, okay, well, let's break this out. Let's do part for the landlord, so the landlord can build a LEED certified building. But then also we'll do LEED for commercial interiors, the tenant side of things. That's an example of a different LEED product. They also came up with LEED for schools. If you look down in, let's see here, this section right, here we go. Commercial interiors, existing buildings. LEED for existing buildings is, think about that one as, how do I operate the building? I'm the owner of an existing facility. How do I operate it on a day-to-day basis? How do I retrofit lights? How do I zone my parking? How do I manage my pest control system? You know, those types of ongoing existing. That's LEED for existing buildings, operations and maintenance. So there's multiple parts, but most of them were based on LEED for new construction. That was the original one, and that's the one that most other products are based off of. What this book does, because LEED for schools, LEED for new construction and major renovation, and LEED for core and shell, because they were so similar, they just put them all in one book. Right? I am going to be talking about LEED for new construction and major renovation because it incorporates almost, you know, the basis of what all the rest of the products were written from. But when you open this book, you will see things like, let's see here. No, it's probably pretty difficult to see, but this is a table. And what this table does, it lists all of the credits, and then it tells you over here which one it's applicable to. For example, you know, there's 3 columns here. LEED for new construction. There, you're zooming in on it. LEED for new construction, LEED for schools, and then LEED for core and shell. There we go. Thank you. And then it chooses. You can look up and say, all right, this one is worth 5 points for new construction, community connectivity credit. Right? But it's only worth 4 under schools, and it's worth 5 for core and shell. Right? I'm going to be talking about new construction, but this book is for multiple products. So that when you pick it up, you'll understand what it means. Okay. Well, this is the old structure, right? You would have used like version 2, or maybe 2.1 or 2.2. This is version 3, also known as LEED 2009 because it came out in 2009. All right. So if you have old books, they're nice, they're a great basis, but if you're going to study for the new exam, which actually the first day that you could take the new exam in theory was supposed to be yesterday. I didn't check to see if haven't been, shall we say, timely about getting their new materials rolled out. This book was supposed to be available January of 2009, and I believe it was actually available in April. So I'm not sure if their new exam has rolled out as of this time. It was supposed to be yesterday. Okay, so, but the new book, 2009, new construction, that's what this class is going to be based on, and it's what the most of you will actually use in terms of construction. Okay? Any questions on that? Because it's important to have a base for understanding where we're beginning the class. All right, just go to LEED 2009 reference material. You want to order the one that says Green Building Design and Construction Reference Guide 2009. Green building, not green interior design. That's just for commercial interiors. Not green building operations and maintenance. That's for an existing building and an owner's certification process. Green building design and construction reference guide, version 2009. Okay, order it off of here. Do that as soon as possible. because you can use it on the first exam, and because this is a summer class, the first exam is only, what, 2 weeks away? All right, let's see here. It's exam 1, the 4th of June. All right? Okay, let's talk about what LEED is. LEED is a building rating system developed by the U.S. Green Building Council. Does anyone think that USGBC is actually a government agency? Anyone? That's a common misconception. USGBC is a trade organization, just like any other trade organization, like Master Builders of Iowa or American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Just like any other trade association, U.S. Green Building Council is a trade association. This is a voluntary rating system for developing high-performance sustainable buildings. And when I mean voluntary, they came together and they said, hey, we think we know a good way to design and build buildings that would reduce the amount of resources used, be more comfortable and hospitable and healthier for both the builders and the eventual occupants of that building. We're going to come up with a rating system that if you follow our rating system, you'll come up with a pretty good building. Essentially, that's what they did. And they did this back in 1993. They have expanded it, like I said before, to address not just office buildings, but schools, neighborhoods, homes, on and on. There's a whole host of products now available. LEED for new construction, and this is LEED for new construction and major renovation. If you're doing a major overhaul of a building, you would also use that LEED for new construction book. And what some people say, well, what's a major overhaul? All right, if you are modifying not just the interior, but significant part of the exterior of the skin of the building, and you're modifying the mechanical systems and plumbing systems, that would be considered major renovation. If it's something minor, right? If it's something in terms of oh, I'm replacing light fixtures here and there. Maybe I'm replacing a few, or just the plumbing system, for example. You might want to look at LEED for existing buildings, operations and maintenance. Okay. Also, some people ask, well, how much needs to be owned by one owner before it's core and shell and commercial interiors? If the owner of the facility uses at least half of it, if they use at least half of it themselves, that's new construction. If they're leasing out more than half of it to someone else, you should probably look at LEED for core and shell and then commercial interiors, these items 2 and 3 there. Okay? Any questions? Any questions on that? Which product to use in which situation? Because that's an example of a type of question that they might ask you on the LEED exam. Give you an example project and ask, which product should we choose to certify our building with? Okay. LEED for new construction. There's also further subcategories, like laboratories or multiple buildings and campuses, right? We won't talk much about them. I just want you to know that those products do exist. Okay, the certification process itself. People are accredited. Buildings are certified. That's important to remember, right? People are accredited. You're going to take an accreditation exam. You're going to become a LEED accredited professional. Buildings are certified. Certification is now completely online. Right? The older versions, like that's LEED for new construction 2.2 or 2.1, online certification became possible. And later in the semester, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a sample project, a case study, and we're going to go through all their online documentation so you can figure out what that means, the online certification process. But think of it as a big scorecard where we upload all of the proof. If there is a requirement for a credit, we've got to prove it to somebody. That's done online now. Much better than when it was done with pencil and paper, let me tell you. That's how when the first LEED building I did, we had to actually fill out, write some letters, include drawings and calculations, fold them all up, put them in an envelope, and mail them to USGBC. And then after a long time, they might mail you back comments. All right, so this is much better. It's available online. We'll look at that on the website later in the semester.